lot of damaged cars in there. As up front, the leaders are about to go over the back straightaway for the first time.
Oh, boy.
And I think we made it over the jump without any issue, at least for this front pack here. I believe from 10th on back is where all that action was, so about half of the field.
This here, that's Christopher Hill, and yeah, he just loses the rear of the car going through turns 1 and 2 here.
And the times are starting to come down, so maybe some concerns here for the 7 about these rear tires.
Yeah, we're looking at a replay here, and that's the exact same thing that happened to Christopher Hill. But Hill looped it all the way around. Engrave is able to save it, and he has a big gap here, so he's able to continue in the lead.
Engrave to the line, 2 laps to go. They are still catching the race leader. But Bensi now battling to the outside of Hill. Hill loose!
Oh, there's
They
contact!
touched! Hill, how did he hang on to that? He is back to 3rd. What an incredible save. And this one may not be done yet. Hill going to do everything he can here in the last lap and a half to get back at it with Caleb Bensi.
I just want to, yep. We'll take it quick. Probably we'll take a look at that after the race is over.
Yes, for sure, as the white flag is out for Hunter Engrave.
And Bensi is going to have to work around Watson here. Otherwise, Hill may get to the rear wing.
One more time over the back straightaway. Hill for Hunter Engrave. He is now working through the west bend.
Woohoo! Watson!
To the downhill. Bensi doing all he can to get away from Christopher Hill. But after a 17th place finish in his first career start, Hunter Engrave will cross the line as a winner in career start number 2. He is a winner in the Daredevil series at Lime Rock Park. Bensi will finish in 2nd, Christopher Hill in 3rd.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon deep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Turn 2! Cars up into the fence. Isidro was the first one to go. A solo spin for him. And absolutely nowhere to go for Matthew Short and James Watson to turn. Not done yet. Here comes Dakota DeMaid into the mix. Here comes Joshua Tucker. Tucker into the Turk. The Turk into the grass, into the inside wall hard. Here comes DeMaid back on the bottom.
And Brent Cook on that top side is somebody.
Whoa, Hill! Hill's around! Solo spin, no caution. He's got some front wing damage, but the toe was in on that car. He should be okay as Gretchen Cook nearly made contact. Cook is around. Oh my God, we've got 2 cars left. Started this race with 18 cars. There are 2 cars that are going to pull up behind the pace car here. 2 in a row for Mr. Echo Blade. Dakota DeMade gets it done at the Rock. And what on earth did we just witness? Kyle Gretsch, who was really, in fairness to him, was up front all race long. But, I mean, is the other survivor. These 2 are the sole survivors of this race.
And now, our feature presentation.
This is the Daredevil series from Rockingham, only on Turn 200. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Daredevil series. This time, we are back. Rockingham makes its historic return, and everybody pretty much just got to see how that first outing went. We started 17 cars and only 2 cars left behind the pace car on the final restart. Actually, may have even ended up ending under green, or excuse me, ending under yellow. So we do have a few more starters here tonight, so we might get to bump those numbers up a little bit. But get your bets in there for how many cars you think will be left here at the end of this one. Thank you for joining us here this evening. It is me, your king, Mr. Matt Williamson, and I do not have the usual fearless leader, Mr. Tommy Cook, here with me here tonight. This is a disappointing one for him to miss, but we move on. We are still finishing up qualifying here, just under a couple of minutes left. I think Drew White is the only car on track at the moment. And there it is. That is what will happen here throughout the evening. The right rear just pretty much wants to go around on you with 0 warning. And when I mean 0, I mean literally 0 warning. So, it's going to be a tough test for the drivers here tonight. It's going to take a lot of patience to make it towards the end. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here with us right before we get into our starting grid. We've already had Nate the Great, Octavio Rondoletto, JK Gaming, the Rain Man, Garrett Rainey, and Peter Donchek in the chat. Peter says it's going to be caution-free. A little memery going on there, I think. And Garrett Rainey says over 3.5, under 5.5. So that leaves 4 or 5 cars left at the end of this one. Quick little update on the points. In Season 3 here, there is a drop week. So actually, there are pretty much everybody is tied for their position at the moment. So at the top of the standings, it would be Engrave and Isidro. And then we kind of go on from there. So not a huge points update yet because we do have that drop week as we are going to go ahead and get into our starting lineup. Alrighty, folks, this is how we are going to start. On the pole, it is your reigning series champion, Octavio Rondoletto. And then on his outside, your winner, the first-time winner in the Daredevil series from Lime Rock Park last week, it's Hunter Engrave. Starting in row number 2 on the inside, You just saw it in the pre-race show. He won the first race here at Rockingham in the Daredevil Series. That's Dakota DeMade, season champion of season number 1. Starting on his outside, Caleb Bency, who was involved with a little incident with Christopher Hill right at the end of last week. Starting in row number 3, we have Ty Richter and Christopher Hill. Then it'll be James Watson, Seb Kinder, Ryan Dye, Nate Siefker. Paul Ellison will start right outside the top 10 in position number 11. On his outside, it will be the number 6 of Matt Wagner. Starting in row number 7, the 20 of Zach Flaum. On his outside, Andy Poliski. Then it'll be tied for the points, Nicholas Isidro, Victor Aldrich, Drew White, who we saw take a little spill there at the end of qualifying, John Kay, Christopher Kresge, Charles Grove, Peter Donchek, and Joseph DeCiro. And a lot of those there towards the end either did not take a time or they actually crashed in their qualifying effort. Alrighty, we are going to take our 1 lap around Rockingham and get this possible melee underway. If you looked at the highlight from season number 1, you saw that it ended under caution. We do have an opportunity for a green-white checkered finish. You will only get one of those, so if they don't finish it then it will end under caution. And there is no time limit this season either, so we will not be under the threat of a 50-minute time limit if we do have a lot of cautions. 100 laps, 25% fuel capacity, although I'm not sure that's going to come into play. The one that will come into play, 0 fast repairs in the Daredevil series. So if you want to be there at the end, you have to be very, very patient. But we are about to go under green here at Autodromo Dwayne Johnson to take one from my cohort, Tommy Cook. Oh, there it is. One in the wall already. That was Hunter Engrave. Another in the wall behind him. My goodness, the action has started here early. We saw a couple, they tried to take it 2 and 3 wide. They got really, really tight off of turn number 2, ended up in the wall. Now we'll go single file for a bit. It's Octavio Rondoletto, Caleb Benson, Christopher Hill, your top 3. My goodness, the fireworks have started early here, folks. Dakota DeMade, Season 1 champion, under fire from Nate Siefker at the moment. And we're going to talk about the tires and them getting hot here a lot. We talk about that all the time here in the Daredevil series, but if you're not aware yet, it takes about 10 to 15 laps, especially at a racetrack like Rockingham. Just extremely fast. The banking is super high. As soon as that right rear tire gets lit up, it will want to turn around on you just like that. You won't even know it's coming. And it will get the best of the drivers here tonight. I can almost guarantee you that. Still mostly single file here throughout the field for right now. A little movement here in the back. Drew White is going backwards. That's Paul Ellison that just got around on him. This is about the closest race on the track right now. This is for fourth. Actually, I take it back. This is for third. That's Christopher Hill in the 101, that red and blue car. Then behind him in the white, it's Dakota DeMade. Nate Siefker in that Team Watson Racing livery. Then Ty Richter and Nicholas Isidro, one of your current points leaders, working underneath of Richter. He's able to complete that one for now. Wow, Dakota DeMade looked like he was really loose coming off of 4. And now Caleb Bensey's made a move for the lead. My apologies for missing that one, folks. Isn't quite done yet, though. Octavio Rondoletto fighting back on the outside. Bensey is clear now. But Rondoletto will look to work the top side, carry tons of momentum. Look at him work the top side here. Here goes Isidro. Oh, and there's one underneath. Not sure exactly who that was. Still not super familiar with the liveries here. It might have been Seb Kinder. That was a car that was in the wall early on this one. And the caution is out. And it looks like it may have been Andy Poliski here in the 32. We'll see if we can rack up a replay here. Of course, Poliski had some troubles over the quote-unquote jump at Lime Rock Park last week. See if we can take a look here. This is Poliski that's actually, I think, in the front of this pack. And I take that back. He's actually this 32 car on the bottom. And, yep, he just gets loose out of 2. We've seen people get tight on the top side, loose on the bottom. We'll see if he can keep it off the wall. Oh, man, look at him spinning the tires, trying to keep it off the wall. Not quite able to, but not a ton of contact here. He might be okay. As we have some takers now down pit road. There are 4 drivers that stayed out. Get to those here in just a minute. So there it is, folks. Just about right on cue. I said 10 to 15 laps. I think that was lap 14 or 15 when Poliski goes around there on the bottom side of turn number 2. And your 4 stayers that did not come down pit road this time. It's Caleb Bensey, Octavio Rondoletto, Dakota DeMade, and Paul Ellison. And Ellison was actually back there, I think, with Poliski. So Ellison has used pit strategy here to get a little bit of track position. Of course, Bensey and Rondoletto were your previous leaders. And DeMade was right there in that fight for third. Alrighty, folks. Well, not quite the melee that we had In the first edition of Rockingham here in the Daredevil series, of course, things can change quickly. But just one pretty incident solo spin there. We had a couple get in the wall early, but didn't take anybody else with them. Now, a lot of times what we see here in the Daredevil series, these cars are really, really hard to get slowed down. You almost just have to keep it in the gas and hope and pray that you're able to maneuver your way around the traffic that is littered all over the track. So the fact that more cars have not been taken out thus far is actually pretty incredible. Alrighty, so we are going to restack them here. And the light on the pace truck is out, so we will go green here. Caleb Bensi will lead us to the green flag, putting lap 19 on the board. Oh, and there's one on the wall again. That's one of your points leaders right now. That's Nicholas Isidro, and he has heavy damage to the left front. And I'm thinking that if that's not a meatball, it's going to be severe damage. The two leaders are at it again. Bensi Rondoletto, this time DeMade and Paul Ellison are close in tow. But a bit of a gap to get back to Christopher Hill in fifth, and part of that is the product of Isidro's troubles. I think some of them had to check up to kind of stay away from Nicholas Isidro. So it's a 4-car breakaway, about a second and a half advantage here. And that is enough room to kind of put yourself away from drafting range. So I don't think that fifth place on back will be able to get a tow here. And we're keeping it under wraps for the moment. Oh, Bensi gets down on the apron. You do not want to get down there. .25% of the way through the race. You saw that slow pink car way towards the back of the pack. I believe that's Matt Wagner. Oh, and the caution is out. Oh, my. And I believe that's Peter Donchak. You see Wagner and another one up there around. We will have to take a better look at this one. We got some intel from Garrett Rainey on the 32. Says no damage to the 32 car. That's a good thing for Andy Poliski. Let's take a look at this incident here. It's always interesting to figure out where these actually start. A lot of times they actually end up starting in front of the people who get the worst of it sometimes. And you can see somebody's already around, and I believe that is Peter Donchak, and it is. Let's go ahead and back it up here. And this is that same thing. He's going to get loose off of 2. Wow, look, he was loose way before he got to the end of that turn. He tries to keep it down here on the apron, just isn't quite able to. And he is going to collect some drivers. Oh, my. That one's the 98 of Aldrich. And Christopher Kresge involved us in this one as well. That's the 777. And you see his Donchek actually disappeared there for a little while and really wasn't even there, but Kresge plows into the ghost of Peter Donchek anyways. So that's what I was talking about. A little commentator's curse, I suppose. Oh, and it sounds like Andy Poliski was that other car that was involved there as well. I believe that was the red car that hit the wall on the bottom. So you see all of the drivers involved in this one are going to try to get some damage repaired. Poliski's right there in the 32. Wagner, Aldrich, Kresge, Donchek, and I think Isidro is still in there as well. I don't think he ever came out of the pits. Probably has some required repairs from when he hit the wall hard on the restart. And I want to give a shout out to our in-race admins that we have with us here tonight. It's pretty much literally impossible for me to do any adminning while I am running the stream, doing cameras and whatnot. So usually Tommy tries to handle the admin part of this. He is not here tonight. So we do have, I believe, Ryan Dye and Christopher Kresge are our in-race admins. So shout out to those guys for taking the burden of that. And, you know, all the drivers are communicating with each other, letting them know when there's a caution needed. Some of them able to see it, some of them not. Of course, Kresge knew that he needed to throw one for what just happened to him, unfortunately. All right, so the lights are out. I don't think anybody came down pit road that didn't have damage. I think everybody else stayed out here. So Caleb Bensi will lead us to the green once again when we take lap 30 on the board. You see Billy the flagman up there ready to wave the green. Here we go, lap 30. Not as much of a breakaway here. Doesn't look like anybody got in the wall on this restart. That is the first lineup of the race. Nobody got in the wall out of turn number 2. And Rondoletto already looking to make a move on Caleb Bensi. We've got a bit of single file here again early. As this war of attrition is unfolding. 14 cars on the lead lap. Looks like Matt Wagner was able to come out. Maybe not too much damage to the 6. And as this run continues, if we can stay green, I think this front pack is just going to tighten up more and more. Here comes Dakota DeMade. He is not afraid to put the car where it doesn't belong sometimes, but he usually makes it work. Oh, there's contact! Caleb Bensi's in the wall, and the caution flies. Wow, there's a couple that nearly missed the accident. Wow, I think we're having some server issues here as well. Seeing a lot of blinking happening after incidents on track. And I was looking at some statistics. I didn't get the best look at this, but let's see what happens here. This is Caleb Bency in that red car, Octavio Rondoletto in the green and white Juncos Esports machine. Oh, wow. And it's almost like Bency's car just stopped turning left. That was really strange. Either that or like there was netcode contact from behind with Octavio Rondoletto. That was really interesting. I want to look at the wheel input here. Oh, yeah. He had a little bit of a disconnect here. Wheel just turns straight left as hard as it can. Wow, well, that's unfortunate for Bency, who had a great run last week at Lime Rock and had a really good run going here as well. But a bit of it was either a connection issue or his wheel disconnected, one of the two, I'm sure. Man, you really hate that. I have a couple of takers down pit road this time. I believe all of them are cars that did have previous damage again. Sandy Poliski, Matt Wagner, Sidro coming back down, Aldrich, and Christopher Kresge. Now, Kresge, Aldrich, and Isidro are all some laps down. Wagner and Poliski have stayed on this lead lap. So they had some temporary damage that they were able to get fixed, or some optional, I guess I should say. But you see Poliski's an extended stay on pit road here, so he definitely has some issues. And the problem here is he might have some toe issues or some wheel issues that are going to not allow him to turn the car as needed, and that could be a big problem. But it could also help him out in the war of attrition as far as that goes. You know, he might be taking it easy towards the back and actually be able to make it here towards the end of the race. So Bency is out. Octavio Rondoletto in that incident slid way back to 6th. So your new race leader is Christopher Hill, who we saw involved in the incident with Caleb Bency last week at Lime Rock. And then Nate Siefker and Ty Richter behind Christopher Hill. That's 2nd and 3rd. Ryan Dye 4th. Dakota DeMade 5th. Rondoletto 6th. James Watson 7th. Zach Flaum has made his way up to 8th place. Drew White, who slid back early in the race, he's made his way up to the top 10. He's in 9th. And Paul Ellison sticking around in the top 10. Alrighty, folks. This is about what we expected from Rockingham. Christopher Hill will lead us to the green this time. Oh, and you saw Rondoletto get tied off of turn 2. He's able to corral it. And this will put 40 up on the board, 40% of the way through this one. It's always nice when the math is easy. Oh, a little farther back, Rondoletto putting it underneath of Flaum. And I think that's James Watson as well. A bold move. He got a 2-for-1 there. Out of turn number 2 and then into 3. Look who it is. Ryan Dye in the 200 has come to play. He is in the top 5, currently sitting in 4th. But I tell you what, early on in these races, I'm not sure the top 5 is really where you want to be. It seems like the front is where the incidents always happen, with the drivers pushing pretty much as hard as they can towards the front. They really light up the tires, and they go away quick on them. So we'll see if we can make it work in this one. He has some great company, Christopher Hill, Nate Siefker. But then Ty Richter is a newcomer to this series. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this may be his first start. Usually I have Tommy the stat man to give me those type of stats, but just from my recollection, I don't remember Richter ever making a start here. Regardless, he's only made a couple at the most. And here goes Ryan Dye on the outside. Richter almost pushed him up into the wall. And now this group is starting to tighten up. Rondoletto and DeMade have joined the party along with Zach Flaum. And that's a big breakaway behind Flaum. There's about a 2-second gap back to James Watson. And we continue single file here. Maybe everybody trying to get their ducks in a row for a little bit of a longer run. Settle in, get some green flag laps in here. James Watson was under fire from Drew White there for a second. White not able to take advantage. That was for the 8th spot. And Nate Siefker up here trying some different things, working a little high-low off the corners, entering low, then also just trying to stay out of the wake of Christopher Hill as part of this as well, for sure. Oh my goodness, Richter close to the wall. While we're here, let's go on board with last season's series champion, Octavio Rondoletto. Actually, he's blinking a little bit, so we'll go back to Zach Flaum. We're going to go on board, a little kickpot cam. And those of you who get that reference, you've been around for a while. Oh, the caution's out. Didn't quite see where it started. It looks like Drew White has jumped to the pits. This is Paul Ellison slow. Nicholas Isidro slow as well, but might have just been behind it. And I think this one's going to start with Drew White. Yep. There he is. You see him get loose. And unfortunately, I think Ellison is in this one as well. Yep. White trying to crank that wheel down, gets on the apron. That is not a spot you want to hit on this track. Oh, and he even goes farther down on the apron. He gets plowed into. And then Paul Ellison gets in that one as well. I think that was John K. that narrowly, I don't think he had any contact there, narrowly avoided all of it. And as we come back live here, we are going to be under green flag pit stops. And I believe everybody has come in, maybe except for Matt Wagner. Alrighty, folks. Fourth caution of the evening. We're going to reset it again here. And unless Paul Ellison is able to make it back out onto the track, just a little over halfway through this one, we'll have only 12 cars left on the lead lap. And it doesn't look like Ellison will make it out. So 12 cars remaining. Some of them have been damaged already, but not too heavily, so they're still contending here. We'll do a quick rundown. Lights are still on the pace truck. Looks like your race leader coming to this restart is going to be Matt Wagner. He was out in the back of this field for quite a while, but it looks like he is looking to gain some track position here with this one. And that's definitely not a bad idea. When you're stuck out back, especially a single file as it can get here around Rockingham, getting that track position is going to be huge. So he will start in the first position on this restart. Behind him in second will be Nate Siefker, Christopher Hill in third, Dakota DeMade in fourth, Octavio Rondoletto, your two series champions up to this point, starting front to back in fourth and fifth. Then it'll be Ryan Dye in sixth, James Watson seventh, John K., who I really haven't mentioned tonight, I think maybe making his first Daredevil series start. He is in eighth, Charles Grove in ninth, Poliski in 10th, Richter 11th, and Zach Flaum rounds out the top 12 all on the lead lap. And Paul Ellison did make it back out on the track. I believe he's only one lap down. And then Nicholas Isidro's out here as well, but he is about 4 laps down at this point, maybe 5. So here we go, the 6. Matt Wagner, he will lead us to the green this time. Early on, Octavio Rondoletto making a move. I believe that was on Dakota DeMade. Oh, there's one in the wall out back. I think it was Flaum. Yep, contact. And he is going to jump to the pits, but the caution has flown. Wow, we've seen it a lot here early on. A lot of people on the restarts having trouble, especially out of turn number 2. I don't think he collected anybody else, but let's take a look just to make sure. And yeah, really not any trouble with the car getting loose or anything. Just super, super tight out of turn number 2. We've seen it a bunch of times. Oh, and just as I say that, Isidro is actually involved in this one. Already a few laps down, and man, luck just goes from bad to worse there for Isidro. I want to go on board here. I don't think we're going to have many people coming into pit. I want to go on board, kickpot cam. Just want to see what it's like for that car to get really tight. This is on the restart. You can see him turning the wheel, and it just doesn't want to turn right up into the wall. So Zach Flaum will be at least a couple of laps down now. And that'll actually allow Ellison to get back on the lead lap. So still 12 on the lead lap here. Alrighty, folks. Only 40 laps to go when we come back to the green. You have your field where it stands now. 12 cars left on this lead lap. Let me know what the predictions are. This is one of those where it can go a lot of different ways. One of those wrecks that we've seen time and time again. All it takes is one of those to happen right at the front of the field, and we're left with hardly anybody. But let me know who your betting odds are for, or who you're just wanting to win this race, who you're rooting for. And the Rain Man, Garrett Rainey, down here in the chat, says cautions breed cautions, and we love to say it here on the channel. That is especially the case here with how these cars behave on these restarts. It's just not like they normally do during the run, so it just really catches you off guard. Also, Buffalo Wild Wings being a D-tier restaurant, can't say I disagree. Although there's some that are better than others, that's for certain. The one close to me is probably the worst one I've ever been to, so a little biased there. I'm waiting for that Buc-ee's paint scheme to be on that number 200. Alrighty, folks. Here we go. Starting to kind of get to the closing stages of this race, even though it seems like we got a lot of laps left. If we can get some green ones in here, they click off quickly. So Matt Wagner will bring us to the green again, with Nate Seefiger and Christopher Hill in tow. The top four have broken away from the pack. We've seen this a couple of times here tonight. And if they get too far out, they won't be able to get a tow back there. That's James Watson in fourth. Rondoletto looking under Christopher Hill. How? There was the wheels were inside of each other and they didn't crash. Unbelievable. Now Rondoletto's looking for second. Octavio Rondoletto putting on a show here. Oh no, he got really loose out of the apron. He's still rolling though. Unbelievable. Now Christopher Hill, he wants the spot back. Isn't able to make it work. Wagner, who started in first, has now fallen to fourth. Seifker had the lead. Now Rondoletto has the lead. Oh my goodness. Rondoletto, I think him and Seifker. Oh, there he goes. Christopher Hill's in it as well. And I think that's John Kay that got a piece of it as well. But boy, heavy damage here for Octavio Rondoletto. My goodness. And that one started a little bit farther back on the backstretch. I'll try to get a decent look at it here. but Rondoletto's rear wheels were already moving side to side. See the, oh, yep, there's the netcode right there. So to slow this down, you're going to see Rondoletto's rear wheels dance as netcode between him and Siefker happens. And then once that happens, I think the rear wheels are just too hot. He tries to come in on the low side here, and it's already going around on him right as he tries to make the turn. And here comes Christopher Hill, plows right through him. And then Rondoletto will come down the racing surface. Oh, and a couple of them just trying to get checked up. That's John Kay that's already around back there as well. Oh, and Andy Poliski. Andy Poliski plowed into the rear of Ryan Dye there in the back as well. Ryan Dye was, and he goes for a ride. Ryan Dye was just trying to get woed up, and Poliski just, I mean, no other way to say it, just absolutely dumped him. Let's go ahead and take one more look. I want to go on board with Ryan Dye here, see what his view was like. Actually, we'll go with Christopher Hill. He was right behind this incident. Oh, man, and when that happens, there's just nothing you can do. Here's Ryan Dye just trying to get slowed down and just gets absolutely punted by Nissan of Wichita Falls. Alrighty, so that is the 6th caution of the evening now. A lot of cars damaged. And Carrady points out that John Kay did a little 360 there and kept her rolling. Yeah, he was just trying to get slowed up. He pressed on the brakes really hard. It went around on him, but keeps it off the wall. And it's going to pay off for him. He's going to be at 4th on this restart. It's about 30 laps to go. And yes, the net code, the net code on that one was something fierce. I mean, there was a good 2.5, 3 feet in between those two drivers. That was Siefker and Rondoletto. And boy, Rondoletto and Christopher Hill really got the worst of it. And then Ryan Dye and the 200 he has passed on. But do want to once again want to thank Ryan Dye for doing some admitting here for us while Tommy is out. Very, very much appreciated. So didn't get the green flag laps in we were looking for this time. Can we do it now? It'll be 30 to go. And Nate Siefker is going to bring us to the green flag. Wagner, Watson, John Kay, and Richter in tow. That's the top 5. And pretty spread out on the restart here. We'll see if it bunches up here in the coming laps. And Matt Wagner, who started the last restart in the front and faded quickly, he is gaining on Nate Siefker here. Tried to look to the top side, didn't work. He's going to get some momentum down the front stretch from that run, though. And quietly today, James Watson has just kind of been hanging around as Wagner goes for the lead. He's able to clear. I think Siefker gave him a bit of a break. Could have just absolutely ran into the back of him. Oh, boy, and Siefker's dancing. Watson goes to help Siefker on the top. Siefker to the lead. And Watson able to capitalize as well. Wagner drops back to third, and here comes John Kay and Ty Richter. And there's Octavio Rondoletto. Says RIP to the right rear. Yep, the net code really killed your chances there when the right rear was already hot. But, man, you were putting on a show there for us. So thanks for coming out, and good luck. Good luck next week. Love having you out here. And, man, just a little bit of bad luck. But thanks for the show that you put on while you were here. We appreciate it, man. And now James Watson and Ty Richter working the bottom. Watson is going to try to clear himself through turn number 3. I think he could have gone up in front of Siefker if he wanted to. Decides not to. Gives him a little bit of a break. And these are teammates. Well, they say we don't have teammates in the Daredevil series, but it's changed hands. So I'm going to say we have teammates here. This is Team Watson Racing drivers side by side for first and second. And they are still battling. And then right behind them, Wagner and Richter were side by side. John Kay is back here in 5th, just kind of biding his time. Wait to see how this thing develops. Watson back to the bottom. Oh, Watson down on the apron. That's a tricky place to be. He keeps it corralled, though. And I tried to do this once before. Let's go ahead and try to do it again. We'll go kick pot cam with the one and only John Kay. Man, you can see just how bumpy the track is. There's like a big hump there going into turn number 1. Oh, and it seems like the caution's out. Everybody's slowing down here. Not sure where this one transpired. Looking around. Looks like it. I don't know. Just looking for some sort of a sign here. But regardless, we do have some takers down pit lane. First one will be veteran of the series, Dakota DeMade. A little surprising, but he's been in the pits 3 times. Charles Grove and Paul Ellison also coming in here. A lot of drivers in the series prefer not to take tires late in the run because it takes a little while for them to kind of get up to temperature. It puts them at a bit of a disadvantage, but we'll still have about 14 laps to go when we take the green, so maybe thinking he could come in and get tires now, and right there by the end of the run, they'll be in perfect prime condition to make the moves that he needs to. And I've just gotten some word thanks to Garrett Rainey. It was a spin and turn number 1. And it was Charles Grove. Well, he got down to the apron out of turn 4. Oh, man, you can see the rear end just dancing around. Wasn't on that lap. Oh, he's having struggles here all the way through this run. And I'm afraid that it's just going to end up going around on him. Well, probably not going to get to see that, but it looks like it was Charles Grove that brought that one out. Must not have been too much damage. I was looking at the car a little bit earlier and looked like it was still in good shape. So maybe a spin, but might have kept it off the wall. So at least he lives to fight another day. That's the only unfortunate thing of broadcasting in the sim. You're not there at the track where you can literally just look out the window and see what's happening. You gotta look for camera views, and sometimes you just miss it. So thank you, Garrett Rainey, for pointing that one out for me. Well, here we are. It'll be 13 to go. We still have 9 cars on this lead lap. So this is a few more than we might have expected, but this one's not over yet. I expect this to be just as fierce as ever, as we have some hungry drivers here without wins in the Daredevil series, and a couple that just haven't done it in a while. It'll be Nate Siefker bringing us to the green. And it looks like the field got stacked up just a bit. Around maybe 5th or 6th. It'll be Siefker and Watson, both prior race winners. And behind them, a slew of drivers without one. Oh, there goes Siefker! He spins it and keeps it going. Unbelievable. The caution will not fly. Hell of a piece. Oh, and there's Watson in the wall. Unbelievable. And just as I thought the veterans of the series were going to show why they are so, problems for both of them. Watson looks like his car is a little bit crooked there, I think. I'm going to go all the way back to Nate Siefker. And, wow. I mean, doesn't look like Watson really touched him. I don't think, but also could have been netcode contact because Siefker was really already out of the turn. Shouldn't have really been loose at that point from turning left, I don't believe, but I could be wrong. And then James Watson's going to come up here and, oh my goodness, look at that. He almost saved this. Trying to carry momentum off the top side of turn number 2. Almost loops it around. He's able to save it that time, but he gets up here to the end of the corner and just gets really tied up into the wall. Wow. Fireworks, folks. Fireworks here. So just as we thought the veteran of the series kind of had the upper hand, it switches. We have Ty Richter, who, if I'm not mistaken, is his first start. We have John Kay making his first start in the series. So 2 first-timers starting in the top 3 here. And they will start with 7 laps to go. Also up here in the top 10 is Matt Wagner, Dakota DeMade. Now that's a veteran. He starts in 4th. Paul Ellison, Andy Poliski, Nate Siefker, who we saw go around, but he was able to keep it off the wall, so he has a clean car still. Charles Grove and James Watson still on the lead lap, but I think Watson has quite a bit of damage. I'm not sure he'll really be able to contend, so by my count, 8 cars that will be able to contend for a win here at Rockingham. This is about as good as it gets, folks. Actually, I take it back. Lights are still on the pace truck, so it will be 6 laps to go when we take the green. 8th caution of the evening. And remember, this new version of the Daredevil series, we will get 1 attempt at a green-white checkered overtime if we need it. And there is no time limit. I think actually the time limit would have been hit already. So no time limit. We can run it out as long as we need to. We will get all the laps in as scheduled. And maybe even a little extra. If one race was going to have the extra, this one was always going to be it. A lot of these drivers were just in survival mode to begin the evening. Well, it's not just survival mode anymore. It's put your gas on the loud pedal time, as we are going to come to the green with 6 laps to go. Ty Richter is going to lead us in the final stretches of the Daredevil series from Rockingham. Not a great start farther back in the pack. Wagner's in tow. John Kay there as well. Dakota DeMay didn't get a great start, but I think he'll be able to pull up to the leaders. Wagner already looking around the outside. Oh, man, he almost got to the outside wall. Now he crosses it over to the bottom. Oh, and he's loose. Trouble for Wagner. He's able to keep it clean. Through comes John Kay to second. Richter with a bit of a lead. John Kay looking to close the gap. Oh, there goes Richter! The caution flies. And I think it was a solo incident. I don't think he collected anybody else. Oh, boy. I love it. I can't tell you how much I love the drama here in the Daredevil series, but such an unfortunate incident for Richter. Man, he had a storybook type of night going. And he's just going to come into turn number 3. And it's turning straight left on him, down into the apron. Everybody is able to stay clear. And, I mean, didn't make real heavy contact to the wall either. I mean, I think I might actually be able to keep it going at a pretty good rate of speed here. So that is the 9th caution of the evening. Richter comes in to get some repairs. Looks like the jack went up. He's going to get tires as well. Ladies and gentlemen, if this were the Daredevil series of old, one of two things would be happening right now. Either we would have a one-lap dash to the finish, or it would end under caution and the rookie first start in the Daredevil series, John Kay, would be your winner if it ended under caution here. But we can't let you do that, can we? No, no, no. Our Daredevils will have one opportunity at a green, white, checkered overtime finish. If that one ends under caution, then the race is over. It looks like Richter was able to come out still on the lead lap, so it remains 9 cars. One restart. Doesn't get any better than this. Everybody get your votes in for who you think is going to be able to take this one. They're going to get one opportunity. Here's your rundown of those top 9. John Kay will start in first. Matt Wagner, who has been all over the board here tonight, he has fought his way to start second on this restart. Season 1 champion Dakota DeMade and the winner of our first go-around here at Rockingham. Keep that in mind. In fourth, it'll be Nate Siefker, James Watson 5th, Paul Ellison 6th, Andy Poliski 7th, Charles Grove 8th, and Richter will start in 9th. Garrett Rady says the heart rate monitor on the 96 is maybe over turn 200. Vanity Fair thinks Dakota DeMade will take this one. It is time to find out the first overtime in Daredevil series history. John Kay will lead us to the green here at Rockingham. Kay with a good start. There's one in the wall. He's able to corral it. I think we'll stay green here. Wagner looking to stay in tow. Siefker's gotten around Dakota DeMade. White flag is out. 1 to go. John Kay leads it down the backstretch. Wagner in tow. Siefker and DeMade seemingly out of the picture. Wagner's down on the apron out of turn number 4. He has a run. It's not going to be enough. John Kay is going to win his first ever Daredevil series start here at Rockingham. Unbelievable. And this burnout, I'm sure, is going to be something special, as it should be. I have no words for how this night has unfolded. Tommy Cook is going to be disappointed that he missed this one. Unbelievable. John K's your winner. We'll get to the full field rundown here in just a second. Anybody that ended up on the podium here, please come to Waiting for Interview so we can get your interviews in here. But we'll go ahead and get a full field rundown before we get to our post-race interviews. Alrighty, folks. You just saw it happen. John K is going to take his first victory in the Daredevil series in his first start. Matt Wagner, who, man, he had an up and down night, was able to pull it together here towards the end, just couldn't quite get it done off of turn 4. He'll end up in second. Nate Siefker rounds out your podium finishers in third. Another one who had an up and down night. Pretty much all of the drivers here, I think, did after all of the chaos that unfolded. Dakota DeMade will finish in fourth. James Watson in fifth. Paul Ellison, Andy Poliski had damage somewhat early, but they hung around and stuck it out. They finished sixth and seventh. Ty Richter, who was up front there towards the end, had an unfortunate incident. He finishes eighth. Rounding out, actually, Charles Grove, yes, ends on the lead lap. He's in ninth. Everybody past this will be at multiple laps down, some of them many, many laps down. Nick Isidro, Ryan Dye, Octavio Rondoletto, who put on a heck of a show there for a moment. Christopher Hill was caught up in that one as well. Zach Flom 14th, Drew White in 15th, just like his car says. Caleb Bensey 16th. Victor Aldrich 17th, 18th is Peter Donchak. Christopher Kresge will finish the night in 19th. Hunter Engrave 20th. Unfortunate finish for him after winning at Lime Rock last week. Seb Kinder 21st. And Joseph DeCiro will finish 22nd. And that will round out our 22-car field here tonight. And we are going to go ahead and get to our post-race interviews. I have to do all of this myself, so it's going to be a little bit slower than normal. But we'll go ahead and pull in our third-place finisher, Nate Siefker. Man, you were right there at the end, and it seemed like a bit of a weird incident. Was there some net code between you and Watson when you went into the grass there?
Oh no, I got to look back at it. They didn't register as contact, but it sure felt like the rear of the car lifted up. So yeah, I don't know. I'd have to want to look back at it. I know James, of course, didn't mean to do it, of course. So yeah, it'd be interesting to look back and see what actually happened there. Just kind of review it and see what happened there.
Well, you were up and down the top 10 all night long. Tell me about how the race unfolded for you here. I mean, there were a lot of incidents as we kind of expected. When you know that's going to be the case, what's the game plan?
I mean, me and Chris, we were running kind of just chilling. We were lifting, coasting, saving the tire. We got on the right we were leading the right strategy, the strategy that was going to, win the race. And then Octavio just came through, and I don't know what happened. The guy, I could tell he's being super aggressive and was airing the tires. I knew he was going to spin out. It's just a matter of time, and unfortunately, he caught Chris. So, took him out, unfortunately. And then we were leading for quite a bit there. And, we were saving the tire, and then, that incident happens. We had to drive back through again, and came back from 8th, I think, to 3rd. We'll take that. So, the small little wins like that's what helps for the championship. Last week didn't go very well. Pocono didn't go great. So to get on the podium tonight, it's at least a positive and a step in the right direction.
Yeah, well, here with our points rubric that we have for the Daredevil series, I mean, you put together, a couple of wins. I mean, you are right there towards the front of the field. Is there a race this season that you're looking forward to most and think you have the best chance at?
I mean, realistically, you look at every race and you say, yeah, you can win that race. I think that'll be pretty important when you go to the bigger tracks. That's kind of a go free for all who wants to win that race. You look at the rest of the races. I think Monza should be a really good race for me, especially. So we'll see. Depends on how it shakes out. The season's a long one, of course. But we'll just go through through the season. Try to win as many races as we can through the stretch. Try to rack up as many points as we can.
Awesome. Well, congrats on the third place finish. Anybody you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, I got a couple for sure. I want to first off thank you for being up here in the broadcast booth. Thank you and Tommy for throwing the league and everything. Thank all the guys that came out. Thank all my teammates. Some of us had a really rough night. I know. A couple. Watson wanted to really do well tonight. And I want to do a special shout out to Victor. He's had a very difficult week. He's running a special paint scheme tonight. Him and James were. So thinking of them, especially during their difficult time. Victor, thoughts, my prayers are with him, especially.
Alrighty, partner. Well, congrats on turning what looked like it was going to be towards the back of the top 10, turned it into a third place finish. So congrats, and
perfect.
We'll talk to you next week.
I'm gonna go pee now.
Sounds good, partner.
All right, bye.
Alrighty, that was third place finisher Nate Siefker, and we'll go ahead and get to your second place finisher. Second place finisher is going to be Matt Wagner, who kind of started the race towards the back of the field, ended up making a strategy call to get himself some track position, and really had a great race from there on out, Matt. Obviously you made a great call there. Tell me about what the beginning of your race was like and why you felt like you needed to make that decision.
Well, it's all about attrition, my friend. As I heard, I saw the practice and I saw all the cars having a little bit of trouble. And then I say, first off, number one, let's go with the strategy call. Every time we come down, let's take fuel. And then once I hit my window where I think I'm going to get it, and with that enough cautions, we can make it to the rest of the way. It's just all about survival. And we got a little bit of contact earlier in the race. We had about 46 seconds worth of damage, and that didn't help my chances of winning. So the car was not that strong toward the end of the race. I could feel the draft was the only thing that was keeping me up front. So passing was really difficult for me holding that bottom line with the damage at all. So I kept hitting the apron, saving the car. It was pretty difficult. So it was quite an adventurous day.
An adventurous day for many. I'm not sure there were many cars out there that didn't have some sort of incident throughout the night. When you're coming to that last restart, what's the game plan? Do you like trying to carry the momentum from the top and make a crossover move on the next turn? What was your strategy there right there on that last restart?
Well, he held it very good on the bottom. He looked like he didn't lift at all. If I was going to make a move, if I was going to try to get to his outside and probably pinch him down to the bottom of the track, so he pretty much has no room to gas up and get off the corner. And that would be my strategic call, but I could not get alongside him with the damage I had.
Alrighty, partner. Well, put together a great race here. Is there anybody that you want to thank out there tonight?
Oh, there's plenty of people. I like to big shout out to my friend Jim Brooks for a speedy recovery. He just had a little bit of surgery go on, and he's doing very well. I'm glad to see him. He's out of the hospital and doing very good. Shout out to all my people in Area 51. Shout out to Teams Watson Racing. James Watson, you're the best. I've been with you since pretty much the beginning. We're living a dream, dude. Making everything work. For a top 2 finish, this is kind of redemption of last week. Last week was I didn't make the first corner because someone stopped right in the middle of turn 1. So this was good medicine, and I'm looking forward to the next race. Twin Ring Motegi is my wheelhouse, and hopefully we can catch a victory there.
Love it, partner. Well, we'll be looking for you at Twin Ring, but congratulations on putting together a good one here tonight as well, and hopefully we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Alrighty, folks. This is going to be something spectacular. It is the one and only John K. First start, first win. Unbelievable. How did you get it done?
Well, Matt, a whole hell of a lot of luck. I mean, I didn't know what the hell I was doing, if I'm being honest. I literally just hopped in here. I took some advice that a couple of commentators gave me, which usually isn't a bright idea because that's why they're in the booth, you know. But no, I'm just kidding. No, I took a lot of advice that you guys gave me last night in the quick little talk we had. It was really just one piece of advice, but you know, I literally just hung out for 80 some laps, did a cool looking 360, and got lucky with a couple of dudes getting loose and spinning out in front of me. So I mean, I didn't do anything special. I just protected the car and got really, really lucky, like 3 times.
Yeah, you had a couple of incidents there that you were almost caught up in somebody else's mess, narrowly able to avoid a couple of them. When we told you that it was going to be quite the scene here tonight, did you expect it to be quite as crazy as it was? What were your expectations coming into tonight?
Oh yeah, I thought I was gonna make it 5 laps and then get shot to the freaking moon and end up at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and you know, it was nuts, and it just everything. That car is wicked fast. That's really why I figured I was gonna end up in a wreck. I wasn't gonna be able to stop in time because they just moved so fast, and I mean it was bonkers. Like my brain's still not working. It was a blast, though. That's probably some of the most fun I've had on iRacing, so it's definitely up there.
Man, we love this car. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it, too. I mean, you say you didn't know what you were doing, but your competitors say that you held a pretty good wheel there on the restart. When you're restarting first out here on a green-white checkered attempt, and the only one that there is, what is going through your head?
Oh, God, I hope they wreck behind me. That's really... I'll be honest. I mean, I know there's a lot of good dudes that run in this league, and I mean, I watched the end of Indianapolis for your guys' championship race last season, and that's all I could think was, man, I just hope they wad it. I hope I get a good restart, get away, and they just wad it up behind me, and I can cruise on home. And that didn't happen. And I think his name was Matt. He ran second. He put up a good fight. I was really trying to judge when to go, and I mean, I hopped in the YouTube video real quick to read what the comments were saying in the live stream, and Garrett said all I was doing under caution was talking, and really I was trying to figure out when to go on that last restart. Got a good one. The draft was, I mean, for it being a NASCAR short track, basically, the draft on these cars, my God, is just insane. And I was like, if I can get out a little bit, he'll pull up to me, but he might not be able to get back by me. So like I said, I hope they would just wad it up, or I hoped I would get lucky. And I think we got lucky tonight.
Well, you certainly got lucky, but you made it work to your advantage as well. Anybody you want to thank here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Tommy Cook for not being here. I seem to do this winning thing quite often when he's not here. I think I'm 2-0 when he's not. So shout out Tommy Cook. Hope he's enjoying his concert. Shout out my girlfriend. She's at work right now. She's a badass, pardon my language, but she's incredible. I love her to death. Very, very blessed to have her in my life. Shout out my mom and dad for giving birth to me. Oh, my mom for giving birth to me, and my dad for being my dad and doing, that stuff. Wouldn't be here without them. God. Shout out you, man. You guys put on such a great product every week. I have not watched the Michigan race back yet because it'll piss me off when I go watch it, but I'll be sure to watch this one back because I won't be mad about anything. So I think that's everybody. Shout out to the Venom guys in chat, too. I almost forgot about them. Andy, Ryan, Garrett was in chat with us, Paul Ellison. 2 of my teammates from Tuesday nights and 2 really good buddies of mine that I love racing around and I'd love just shooting the breeze with. So it was a good night to get to share it with them. 1-for-1 in the Daredevil series. I might just retire now. Follow my YouTube. We're like 1 or 2 away from 100 subscribers. JK Gaming, it was on the top of my wing. I should have put it on the back of my wing, but I figured everybody else would be in front of me, so I had no idea that anybody would see it from behind. I think it's everybody.
Alrighty, partner. Well, that was a hell of an interview. There's certainly nothing to be disappointed about here tonight. And I'm going to use the old adage from Mr. Tommy Cook. You, my friend, need to go party hard after winning this one.
Oh hell yeah, we're gonna go burn it down now. That was awesome. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Hey, shout out Matt Williamson too, because he called this this stuff yesterday when I was talking to him about what to expect, and he said, "Oh, you'll win anyways because Tommy's not gonna be here." So Matt knew the whole time.
Well, congratulations, partner, and maybe we'll see you on the top step of the Daredevil series sometime again this season. Looking forward to having you.
Well, probably not, but we'll give her hell and see if we can do it again.
Sounds good, partner. We'll talk to you later.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Unbelievable. He's not wrong. Yesterday I said Tommy Cook has only missed a couple of broadcasts in the history of Turn 200, and the two winners of those were John Kay in the Venom Truck Series and Nate Siefker in the Daredevil Series. And my prediction was either Nate Siefker or John Kay would win this one. Well, Nate Siefker finishes third, and John Kay takes the top spot in his first ever Daredevil series start. I have no words. It's unbelievable. Man, what a race. What a race. That's all I can say. We came into Rockingham expecting something just kind of crazy, and that's what we got. 9 or 10 cautions. I don't remember which. We did have a few more cars left on the lead lap, though. 9 cars on the lead lap here this time, and a spectacular product for the fans at home. So shout out to everybody that came in to watch here tonight, and shout out to everybody that was in chat here today. Nate Siefker was one of them. Also Octavia Rondoletto, JK Gaming, that's John K. Go check him out. Garrett Rainey, the Rain Man, Peter Donchek, and the first time was also in the chat, and I believe that was it. Oh, also Vanity Fair. So thanks to everybody that came in here and chatted with us here tonight. For everybody here at Turn 200, that's Tommy Cook. I am Matt Williamson as John Kay takes the top spot of the box at Rockingham in his first ever Daredevil series start. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time, everybody.